They say that variety is the spice of life. I don't know who they are, but I think they're onto something. Well, after a couple-hour drive, I have arrived at my destination, and it's just a matter of getting my gear together for tomorrow morning. I have to get up at dark 30, get in the tree stand at dark 32, and see what I can run across. Hopefully, I come across a nice buck, but I am not the kind of person that just hunts for antlers, so I usually take the first good deer that crosses my path. And so, I'll be with you in the morning. I can't see it. I can't see a damn thing out here. Now I just have to be careful coming down this thing. Watch my step. Tight grip. And just take my time. Grab my bow. Yeah, let's go see if we can find something. Let's get an arrow ready just in case. Alright, let's go see what we can do. Definitely some sign. Fresh sign here from last night or this morning. I'll show you right here. Boy, I tell you, there's got to be some deer back here. Signs, droppings, looking good. We'll just keep on looking. Just never know where they're gonna be. But I gotta be quiet. That's one thing about hunting. You have to be very quiet.
She's right there. About 10 yards. Turn just a little bit. She's quartering to me a little too far. Too much of an angle. Come on, turn. Turn. Oh, there she goes. I didn't feel comfortable with that shot. And she ran off.
Well, that was a close one. There was a doe, and I was able to get within about 10 or 15 yards, but she was quartering towards me at a sharp angle, and I didn't want to take that shot. Besides, she was behind a little bit of brush, and that was just a risky shot to take. So I decided not to, and I'll see what else I can run into out here. Well, this is day 2 of sitting in my tree stand waiting for a deer. And I'll tell you what, there is no better test of endurance than sitting on your butt in a tiny little chair for hours on end with nothing to do except watch and wait. Trying to be as quiet as you can. Try not to make any moves. I mean, try that at home. Sit in a little tiny chair and see how long you can sit there without making any noise, without clearing your throat, without making any sudden movements. It is very difficult. But the one thing about sitting 20 foot off the ground in a tree stand waiting for deer is that it's very therapeutic. Because really, think about it. How often in this fast-paced life do we get to sit around and really do nothing but contemplate our own thoughts? You start thinking about life, start thinking about your family, the decisions you've made, everything you've accomplished, everything you still plan on accomplishing. Now, don't get me wrong, I love fishing. I love fishing offshore for salmon, tuna, halibut, lingcod, rockfish. I love fishing the rivers, bobber dogging, back bouncing, side drifting. I love steelhead fishing, fly fishing. But there is just something about deer hunting. It not only puts, food on the table, but there's something very therapeutic about sitting for hours on end in total silence, other than the birds, the bugs, and the occasional deer that you run into. And of course the opportunity. Now, I've been hunting and fishing all my life. Thanks to my dad, who's now gone, but it makes you think about who you are as a person. And while you're thinking about life, opportunities present themselves. Where is she? There she is. That deer is probably 120 yards away. A little too far. Now we just have to be patient and hope it comes this way. Looks like a little 2-point. See it right there. I think my impatience is getting the better of me and my attention deficit. Yeah, after sitting there for 2 hours after I seen that buck, I think I've had it. This is day 3, morning of day 3, and had some excitement this morning. Behind me is a ravine, and I heard a deer come crashing down the hill just at daybreak as it was turning light. And let me show you this. I could hear her coming down the hill over there, and then I seen her walk on that trail. And just as she got over here into this thick brush, that's when I stood up. She got over here, I heard her walking some more, and then there was some silence. And then she crashed through the woods and took off. So she must have caught wind of me. But you always second guess what happened. Did you make a mistake? Did you make some noise? Everything was perfect. I stood up when she was... The only thing that I can think about is that I stood up when I couldn't see her. I should have waited and stood up when I knew she couldn't see me. But, that's neither here nor there. But it was a big doe, and I would have been happy with that big doe. There's an old saying, never pass up something on the first day that you'd be willing to take on the last day. And my dad has always told me that you can't eat antlers, and that is a fact. I guess you could try it, but you're not a mouse. Anyway, I live my life by that credo, and I've managed to put a deer on the table almost every year of my adult life. And I'll be honest with you, I think that does actually taste better anyway. They're not all jacked up with testosterone, in the rut. And so those taste good. But I'm always trying to second guess myself to try to improve what has happened, whether it's fishing or hunting. And I think it's because I live my life in a state of perpetual dissatisfaction. And that's not a bad thing. Men who live their lives in states of perpetual dissatisfaction tend to always improve things. So whether it's my family, my wife, my relationships with my friends, I'm always trying to improve them because I'm always dissatisfied with how things are. Whether it's family, whether it's work, no matter how good things are going, because of my state of perpetual dissatisfaction, I'm always trying to make improvements. And so, here I am, sitting in a tree stand. It's starting to get cold, actually. I think I'm going to head in. Maybe I'll run into something on the way in. But such is life with hunting and fishing. On to the next adventure.